Okay, so when we just came here, everything I planted got eaten by the deer. And I only started gardening with some success when I started planting mints as a protection around other stuff. And the big advantage of mint is that it grows so easily. I'll show you how easy it is to pull up. I'll just stick it in a little bit. And here we go. Here are some more. I don't even need any tools. And look how many I have. 1, 2. These are easily 10. So these I'm gonna plant right here, right now. So I like these mints to be everywhere, and there are many different types of mints as well. The mountain mints I prefer. So narrow leaf mountain mint, broad leaf mountain mint, clustered mountain mint. There's so many types, and they're all are as easy to plant as this one that I'm doing now. The mint family is actually a huge family, and you might be surprised how many species are in that family. And look at the bee balm, that's a mint. Look at the akastashi, the hyssop, also a mint. And yeah, in my experience, those are really the ones that survive heavy deer browsing. I removed the flowers because in my experience, they transplant better without the flowers. If it stays very dry, I water them a little, but even if I don't do anything, they will survive.
I've got 4 tips for when to prune trees. Pruning for safety can be done any time of year. Pruning for shape and other desired effects should be done ideally during the growing season when the leaves are on the trees and the arborist can see clearly the structure of the tree, what cuts need to be made where, and you can actually see declining branches and you can remove them at that point. The 2 times to avoid pruning live branches are in the early spring when the buds are breaking, leaves are forming, and late fall when there are a lot of pathogens and diseases that can be spread through these open wounds.
My garden tip is about this plant, swamp milkweed and monarch butterflies. This plant is very wonderful because monarch butterflies need it to lay eggs, and then when they lay their eggs and the caterpillars emerge, the monarch caterpillars need to feed on these leaves. So it is a wonderful plant, and I don't know if you can see, there's a bunch of bumblebees right now in here too, and lots of insects, lots of pollinators love it. It's a nice tall plant, so it's great in the back of a garden or next to a stone wall. And in the fall, these plants will have tons of seeds with little cotton-like plant fibers, and they fly all over the place. So if you have a spot in your backyard where you would like a big spread of swamp milkweed, you can have that, or it's great to save the seeds and pass them on. I got mine from a friend, so all of our friends and neighbors can have swamp milkweed and monarch butterflies in their backyard.
Did you know that capturing just 1 inch of rainwater off of a 2,000 square foot roof is the equivalent of 1,250 gallons of rainwater? The basin to this water feature holds 2,000 gallons. This roof, we're capturing the rainwater off that, comes down the leader, and it's pitched into our water feature basin. Then we irrigate our plantings with drip irrigation. Love doing this. It's such a great conservative measure. And not only that, I can't tell you the last time I ever had to add water to this water feature. The one plant that I find I will never plant again in a setting where it's not more controlled is the painted fern. When I did this hillside, I'd say about 15 years ago, maybe there were 20 different 1-gallon pots of painted fern. Now I only have, well, a handful of shrubs left over, and everything else is painted ferns.
unbelievable, but a plant you really need to be careful with when you're planting them into your garden setting.
So I'm going to show you my two favorite tools. This is a drain spade, and it's the only one I use in my garden. I find it really easy to use. You can just be very precise on where you want your shovel to go. Plus it goes nice and deep. This is a 12-inch spade, but they come larger too. I think 12 inches is good for my size height. I'm 5'3". Someone taller might want a bigger one. And then this is my favorite gardening hand tool. I never use a little hand shovel or anything. I just use this. It's a hori knife. So I love it because it's so precise. It's got a serrated edge that you can cut things, so you don't have to carry more than this tool around with you. And it just has a really nice weight.
This is one of my favorite plants, Black-Eyed Susan, Rudbeckia hirta. It is a biennial that reseeds quite freely every summer.
This is a Japanese sickle. So you could use it in a sense like a mini scythe, and you could cut a large area of grass anywhere, and you can easily not hit this plant that you want. But you could use it also for harvesting.
We have rabbits and deer and groundhogs and squirrels and chipmunks that were eating a lot of the stuff I grew. So I was thinking, what would keep the critters out? And I found a company called Martin's Cages, and they make a rat playpen which is designed to keep rats in. It's kind of cool because there's a flip lid that makes it really easy to harvest, and we've had these for many years at this point, and I've never had any critters eat my fruits or vegetables. So here we have a stand of really invasive bamboo. It grew so fast. I'd be spending like all the time I had to garden was like cutting the bamboo or hiring someone to cut the bamboo. So what we finally came up with was a technique, basically digging out a trench. This type of invasive bamboo, it spreads, it has runners, and they're only in the top, say, foot of soil. And you can see if any runners are going across the trench, then we just snip them with clippers.
So 3 things that I find indispensable when I'm gardening are flags, tags, and gloves. I use the flags, they're different color flags, for marking different things. I typically use one color flag to mark seedlings, for example, or newly planted seeds that need to be watched or watered extra carefully. I'll put down a red flag if I notice an area of stiltgrass or something that needs to be taken care of. And then I use other ones for different reasons. I also then have tags, and I use these. They actually they wipe off with some rubbing alcohol, but I use them to identify what I put in there. They're a little bit sturdier than say some of the bamboo ones that we have. And then last but not least, I have these wonderful gloves, and they are not only thin, but they also allow you to use your phone. There you go.